Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of AI in Your Career. This week is April 16th, and the articles keep rolling out with data pertaining to AI and jobs. And we want to break it down for you here, as well as talk about specific industry case studies and even offer a tool where you can audit your own career risk. So let's dive into this week's news. So this week, Gallup confirms something I think will look a lot like a turning point when we look back at 2026. So, for the first time, half of employed Americans say that they use AI in their work. That's half, not that they're just thinking about it or have heard of it, but actually using it. So, here's the Gallup data in full. So now there's the thing about the 65% productivity stat. Like, that's not a survey asking people how they hope AI will change their work someday. That's people who are already using it, telling you what they're actually experiencing. And two-thirds of them say it's making them more productive, not marginally, but meaningfully. But Gallup isn't the only piece of news this week. Fortune published new data from Anthropic, the company that makes Claude, on exactly which white collar jobs are most exposed to AI. And there's a number in the data that I keep coming back to. So for computer and math workers, which we already discussed in the past were at risk, Anthropic found that AI can theoretically handle about 94% of their tasks. But in observed real world professional use, Claude currently handles about 33%. That's a 61-point gap between what AI is capable of doing and what's actually being done. So, this could be due to a learning curve issue, resistance to trust AI, or just not being ready to take advantage in the context of the nature of work in their organizations. Also, these models are advancing so fast, they might not even be pacing with the level of work and ability to test what's capable at this time. But if you're in those fields, the message is clear that the more aware you are of what AI can do in your role, the more you can build skills it cannot do to protect your livelihood. And then we get to the fact that McKinsey just published a new analysis showing that AI adoption among workers went from 30% in 2023 to 76% in 2025. And that's not a gradual shift. That's a steep curve over 2 years. And they found something else. Employees are 3 times more likely to be using generative AI than their leaders think they are. So think about that, what that means practically. In most organizations right now, individuals on the ground are ahead of their institutional plan. The person who is quietly building AI fluency at their desk is running faster than the organization's official AI strategy. That is not a problem to avoid, that's an edge to own at the individual level. As said, at an organizational level, could be a risk if we're talking shadow AI use that is undocumented and uncontrolled, and also missed opportunities to share best practices, establish guardrails, build team competency towards organization goals holistically. And last, the University of Phoenix Career Institute released their annual Career Optimism Index study yesterday. So 5,000 working adults were surveyed, and one number stood out. Workers who are knowledgeable about AI report 75% optimism about their job opportunities. Workers overall, 63%. That's a 12-point optimism premium for just knowing how to use the tools. And 50% of workers in that same study said AI makes them more confident about pivoting to a new role. So AI isn't just protecting the jobs people already have, it's opening doors to jobs they haven't had yet. For a mid career professional thinking about what the next 5 years looks like, that is not a footnote, that is a strategy. Higher, at least confidence in that ability to advance your career. So clearly, AI is not something to avoid here. It's something to be aware of, to learn. And it's really not putting people at risk in this moment because organizations have a long way to go to catch up with the capacity of these tools or to deploy everything as an agent and just have it take over a lot of work that really needs human judgment. So, in the meantime, upskilling is still the name of the game, learning the tools, learning the capacities, and staying with this information. So now I want to pivot and get specific because this week's industry spotlight is going to be on healthcare. And it's a useful case study in what an AI augmentation actually looks like when it works well. All scaling ambient AI scribes. One nurse at Mercy reclaimed 2 full hours of charting in a 12-hour shift, and Cleveland Clinic dropped daily charting by 14 minutes per clinician, which may not seem impactful in itself, but across all their clinicians, that's many, many hours of time and money. And that's what we talked about here. So again, really where we're seeing the benefits of AI is in this administrative space. And this isn't just in healthcare, that that's the focus here. I think this is going across most organizations. So really taking things that took a lot of detailed time and then elevating human expertise is really what is being seen today and what is being experienced, giving people more energy within their job and less burnout. Again, half the workforce is pulling ahead. Determine your exposure level, benchmark against your peers, and identify your workflow opportunities. You can scan the QR code here or get to the link in the comments and give it a try. And we hope to see you next week. Contact us, learn more about how we can help you navigate your career or your AI in your organization. And we'll see you next time.